Okay, so lesson 2.3 is simplifying variable expressions. So terms of an expression are the parts of an expression that are added together. So I'm going to put, the parts of an expression that are added together. So an expression we could have 2x plus 3 minus 7. 2x is a term, plus 3 is a term, minus 7 is a term. Those are all called terms. The coefficient is the number part of the term, like the 2 in front of the x. So we're going to say the number part of a term in front, looks bad, in front of the variable. So in our example up above, the 2 is the coefficient. The constant, it has a number but no variable. So 3 and 7 both would have been constants, positive 3, negative 7. So the number part, let's say without the variable. So whatever you're adding and subtracting becomes your constant. If it's plus, it's going to be a positive. If it's minus, it's a negative. And like terms are terms that have identical variable parts. So like the 3 and the 7 are like terms, okay? Terms that have identical variable parts. So like the 3 and negative 7, those are like terms. Like 2x and 7x are like. 3x squared and 2x squared are like terms. These don't have variables, so they're like terms. This one just has an x, so they're like terms. And that has x squared, so they're like terms. So we're going to identify the parts of an expression. It says to identify the terms, like terms, coefficients, and constant terms of the expression. 5 minus 2x minus 3 plus x. So we're going to write the expression as a sum. So 5 plus a negative 2x, because we're going to add that, plus a negative 3 plus x. So we just added all this together. So this becomes negative, and the x stays positive. Identify the parts of the expression. Note that because x equals 1x, the coefficient of x is 1. So there would really be a 1 in front of that x. But we don't write it that way because it looks silly. You won't see that. But that's what it means, 1x. So our terms then are 5, excuse me, negative 2x, negative 3, and x. So our like terms, if we look over here, are 5 and negative 3. Those are alike. And negative 2x and x. Those are our like terms. Our coefficients are the numbers in front of our variables. So we have a negative 2. And in front of this, we have a 1. In front of this x, there's a 1. Our constants then were our 3, negative 3, and 5. 5, negative 3. So we are going to check these. Identify the terms, the like terms, coefficients, and constants in the expression. So our terms would be 4y, negative 6, and 3y. Our like terms are the 4y with the 3y, and that's it because nothing goes with the negative 6. There's not another term. The coefficients then, the numbers in front of our variables, are 5 and negative 3. 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 are a 4 and a 3. And our constant, since we're subtracting 6, is going to be a -6. Okay, let's look at the next example. We have terms that are 9, positive W, -5, and a -8W. Our like terms, we would put 9 with the -5 and W with the -8W. Those are alike. The coefficients then are the numbers in front of the variables. So in our example, we have a 1 and a -8. Make sure if you're subtracting, that is a -8, right? And if there's nothing in front of the W, we assume that it's 1, because that means we have 1 W. And then our constants are the number part, numerical part that don't have variables. So that would be a positive 9 and a -5. Okay, so let's go on to the next page of notes. We're going to simplify by combining the like terms. So what they do is have you write these as addition so that you can see the symbols. So if we have minus 3m, that's the same thing as plus a -3m, and -7 is like plus a -7. So then what we can do is start combining things that are alike. So we can combine the 3m with the the 5m, with the -3m, and the 8 with the -7. Okay, so 5 plus a -3 is going to give us 2m, and 8 plus a -7 is going to give us plus 1. So we're just going to combine those that are alike. Okay? The next one, we're doing the same thing, but with parentheses, we're going to have to distribute. So we're going to take 3 times x and get 3x, and we're going to take 3 times 2 and get plus 6. Then we still have minus x plus 9 to do. We group our like terms, so our 3x would go with our minus x, plus 6 plus 9. So 3x minus x leaves you with 2 x's, plus you add your 6 and 9 together to get 15. Same thing on the next one, we have the distributive property, so you have 2k. You have to take both of these times a -5. So we'd have minus, right? That would be 10. Sorry, I gotta start here. -5 times k is 5k. And then -5 times 4, you're going to be subtracting 20. They already put our negative sign for us there. So we have 5k minus 20. So now we can combine our k's. We have 2k minus 5k, which is a -3k, right? Different signs you subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. Since the 5 is larger, remember it's like plus a negative, it's a negative sign, minus 20. On the next one, we have to distribute this negative sign through, okay? So we have 5a minus, we're going to take -1 times everything in there, okay? So 5a minus, this is going to be 5a, a negative becomes plus 7. Okay, so if we combine our like terms, we get 0. 5a minus 5a is 0 plus 7. And simplify, you get 7. Let's go ahead and do our examples together. Combine our like terms. We can combine our y's. So 4y and 3y gives us 7y. And we still have minus 6. On number 4, let's start by combining our variables. We have w and minus 8w. So this is like 1. And 1 minus 8 is like plus a negative. So you should have a -7w. And then you still have 9 minus 5, which is 4. So a -7w plus 4. On question 5, we need to use the distributive property. So we get 4x minus 4 minus 2x minus 7. The 4x and the minus 2x gives you 2x. 4 minus 2 is 2. -4 plus a -7 gives me a -11. So we got to follow our rules of integers. And the last one, again, we need to distribute that -6. -6k minus 18 plus 5k. We can combine our k's together. -6 plus 5 is a -k. There's just one, so I'm going to do -k minus 18.